Hello curious minds, welcome back to my channel where we dive deep into the timeless tales that have shaped cultures and philosophies across the world. I'm excited to share with you a powerful and thought-provoking story from the pen of the Japanese author Ryūnosuke Akutagawa. It's a story that explores the profound themes of redemption, compassion, and the consequences of selfishness, universal truths that still resonate with us today. So, sit back, relax, and let's journey together into the tale of the spider's thread. The morning in paradise is like a dream, where time moves with a serene grace, unburdened by the haste of earthly days. The air is thick with the scent of blooming lotuses, each flower opening its petals to the golden sunlight that bathes the land in a gentle, otherworldly glow. The sky above is a perfect, cloudless blue, and the waters of the pond are as clear as the most flawless crystal, reflecting the heavens in their depths. It is in this peaceful setting that Shakyamuni, the Buddha, walks slowly, his thoughts as calm and clear as the pond before him. As he strolls by the lotus-filled waters, the surface shimmers with life, revealing the world below, a world far removed from the peace of paradise. Through the transparent pond, Shakyamuni's gaze penetrates down into the dark abyss of hell, a place where light and hope seem to have long ceased to exist. His eyes, filled with compassion, scan the suffering souls, each one lost in their torment, until they rest upon one figure, Kandata. Kandata was a man of infamous deeds, his hands stained with the sins of 1,000 crimes. Yet, amid his cold and callous heart, a single spark of goodness had once flared. The memory of that day in the forest is faint, but it lingers. Kandata had spared the life of a tiny spider. In that moment, a flicker of compassion had stayed his foot, a small act of mercy that had not gone unnoticed. Shakyamuni, ever mindful of even the smallest glimmer of virtue, sees this as a thread of hope. Reaching down into paradise, the Buddha takes hold of a silvery spider's thread, delicate and almost ethereal, yet strong enough to span the chasm between paradise and hell. With great care, he lowers the thread down through the waters of the pond, through the darkness, until it reaches the very depths of hell. Hell is a place devoid of light, save for the dim, ominous glow of the mountain of spikes and the pool of blood, where countless souls struggle in the inky blackness. Their groans and sighs are the only sounds that punctuate the oppressive silence. Kandata, amidst the endless suffering, happens to look up, his eyes catching a glint of something above. There, descending from the heavens, he sees the silvery thread. In that moment, hope, a feeling long forgotten, sparks within him. With the desperation of a man drowning, Kandata seizes the thread and begins to climb. His muscles strain, his breath comes in ragged gasps, but he ascends inch by painful inch, away from the horrors below. The climb is grueling, and the thread seems impossibly long. Fatigue sets in, and as Kandata dangles midway, he makes the mistake of looking down. Below him, hell stretches endlessly, but more terrifying still is the sight of other sinners, following him up the thread, seeking their escape. Fear grips Kandata's heart, twisting the hope he once felt into something darker. Panic sets in as he imagines the thread breaking under the weight of so many. His mind, selfish and desperate, cries out that this lifeline is his alone. With a shout, he declares his claim, his voice echoing through the void. But in that instant, the thread snaps, unable to bear the weight of Kandata's greed and fear. Time seems to slow as Kandata, along with all those who followed, plummets back into the pool of blood. The darkness swallows them once more, the hope of escape now a distant memory, lost to the depths of despair. Above, in the peaceful serenity of paradise, Shakyamuni watches, his face touched by a sorrowful understanding. He knows the nature of suffering, the weight of karma, and the path that each soul must walk. Yet even he cannot change the choices that bind each being to their fate. The day continues in paradise, as it always does, unhurried and tranquil. The sun begins to climb towards its zenith, and the Buddha, ever patient and wise, resumes his walk, knowing that all beings must find their own way to salvation. Now, let's decode this story, my dear friends. At its heart, this story serves as a poignant lesson in the dangers of selfishness and the importance of compassion. Kandata's downfall is not simply a result of his past sins, but of his failure to recognize the shared suffering of others. The spider's thread, a symbol of the slim chance at redemption that is offered to him, is strong enough to bear the weight of many, but Kandata's fear and greed cause him to see it as his alone. In his attempt to hoard salvation, he loses it entirely. The moral of the story is clear: true redemption cannot be achieved through selfishness. The path to salvation is one that must be shared, one that requires empathy and a recognition of the interconnectedness of all beings. The moment Kandata tried to deny others their chance at escape, he severed his own connection to that possibility. In life, as in this story, our actions towards others are what ultimately determine our fate. Compassion, rather than self-interest, is the key to breaking free from the cycle of suffering. And that, my friends, was the story of the spider's thread. It's a tale that reminds us of the importance of empathy and the dangers of letting our fears and desires cloud our judgment, in a world that often seems divided. This story encourages us to look beyond ourselves and recognize the shared humanity in others. I hope it gave you something to reflect on. If you enjoyed this story and the lessons it brings, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, share it with others who might find it meaningful, and subscribe to the channel for more stories and insights. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. What did you take away from Kandata's journey? Until next time, stay curious, stay compassionate, and keep exploring the stories that shape our world. Thank you for watching.